In the darkest hour of the night, in the silence of a secluded home, a 911 call brought a life to the brink. He was the son of one of the world's greatest legends, but in that moment, he was just one thing: a victim. A victim of a pain that had accompanied him since childhood, a pain deeply rooted in the shadow of his mother's fame. This story isn't just about an overdose. This is the story of a silent scream. The story of Elijah Blue Allman, and a battle that never ends.
Birth in the shadow of a legend. When Cher and Greg Allman, two American music icons, had a child named Elijah Blue, expectations soared. But instead of a normal start to life, this birth marked the beginning of a challenging era. At 2 years old, Elijah witnessed his parents' divorce. Two individuals whose lives were constantly in the spotlight but couldn't sustain their marriage. Elijah didn't experience a warm, traditional family upbringing. Instead, he spent his childhood in the cold hallways of boarding schools and the quiet of grand mansions. He later said, "I felt like just an object, a souvenir of a lost love." This loneliness planted the seeds of his dissatisfaction and inner void. Music, a way to be heard or to hide. As a teenager, Elijah found refuge in music. He formed the band Deadsy, known for its distinct style and unique sound. Music was a sanctuary for him, a way to express his inner world. But even in his own domain, the shadow of his mother's fame never left him. Everywhere he went, the first question was always, "Are you Cher's son?" He didn't want to just be Cher's son. He wanted to be Elijah. This struggle for identity pushed him towards dangerous choices. He sought something to pull him out of that shadow, even if it meant awakening the darkest parts of his being. Love, family conflicts, and shocking accusations. In 2013, Elijah married Mariangela King, the love of his life. Both artists, they seemed to understand each other. But this love quickly turned into a battlefield when faced with external pressures, especially family interference. In 2022, Mariangela King made shocking accusations. She claimed Cher, Elijah's mother, had hired bodyguards to kidnap Elijah from a hotel. This accusation was never fully proven, but it severely fractured the family and left deep wounds on their relationships. Caught in the middle of these conflicts, Elijah was drawn further and further into darkness. The vortex of addiction, from escape to freefall. Elijah's introduction to drugs began at just 11 years old. From alcohol in his teens to heroin in his youth, he candidly stated in a raw interview, "People like me are searching for something to fill a void deep inside." This emptiness, coupled with the pressures of fame, societal expectations, and family conflicts, drew him into the vortex of addiction. His mother, Cher, made numerous attempts to save him. In December 2023, she even petitioned the court for a conservatorship over Elijah's finances, hoping to gain control over his life. However, in January 2024, the court denied her request. This ruling, in a way, validated Elijah's independence, but also highlighted his vulnerability. Just 1 year later, this independence nearly cost him his life. Ground Zero, midnight, June 14, 2025. At midnight on June 14, 2025, the quiet of Landers, California was shattered by the wail of ambulance and police sirens. A 911 call reported, "A man is acting strangely. He might harm himself." When emergency responders arrived, the struggling man gasping for air was Elijah Blue Allman. The scene was filled with signs of a drug overdose. He was immediately rushed to the hospital. Doctors later stated, just a few more minutes and he wouldn't have survived. This moment marked a turning point in his life, a second chance, or perhaps his last. Light at the end of the tunnel? Mariangela King, Elijah's estranged wife, issued an emotional statement, declaring her support for him. Elijah has relentless perseverance to stay clean and loyal to his loved ones, she stated. He is on the path to recovery. Cher, meanwhile, has remained relatively quiet, but close sources indicate she is doing everything possible to help her son. Can Elijah Blue Allman truly pull back from this precipice? Will society and the media grant him a second chance? This isn't just a story about a celebrity. It's a narrative about humanity's ceaseless battle with its inner demons. Perhaps it is the story of all of us fighting to break free from the shadows.
Final thoughts. This was the story of Elijah Blue Allman, a story that shows, even at the pinnacle of fame, individuals can lose themselves in the darkest corners of their being. But is there always light at the end of the tunnel?